What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunch with the Clydesdale. This is Wednesday. We doing some Cajun cooking on a Wednesday because we bring in the Cajun himself, Cory Leonard. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, Scott? Just another day in paradise, brother, man. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah, so a lot going on in the space these last couple days. We've kept everything pretty full on this show. Usually I'm struggling like on the Monday and the Tuesday after the Sunday show to like have anything to talk about. But man, like every day there's just stuff coming out now. We got the World Fitness Project qualifier starting today.
Did you see Spin's post about it?
You mean with the community stuff?
Yeah, with like the people signed up for it.
Yeah, well, that's for the community. That's for the community events, and you can sign up until the event, and you don't have to.
Okay, cool. Word. I didn't know that. I just saw the numbers on there. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, that they pay out the podium, and some of them don't even have 3 teams signed up.
Yeah. Someone in the comments was like, "This is kind of cool, but I wish I wasn't in one of the divisions that only had 3 people."
Yeah. So you could make money as long as you are in the top 3 in those community events. There's some of the events don't even have 3 teams in them. But we have 6 weeks before that event takes off, and it is first come, first serve. There is no qualifier.
Good for them.
So you and me could do teams right now.
Just get signed up, brother. Get signed up. I got a list I've been adding to since I started competing of team names for CrossFit competition. And I don't know why it didn't strike me before, but I just added the Magic Man and El Diablo.
Sarah wants to know if you guys can be a team for free money.
I'm in. Sign me up, sir. Sign me up. I mean, good Lord. What's the registration fee for it? I imagine you got to pay to play like anything else. I just don't know what it is. I never looked into it.
Yeah, there is probably a registration fee. I don't know what those are. Honestly, like I'm at a level where I'm not ready to compete.
Not quite there. We get working on it, Scott. Working.
So before we get into too much, yesterday I talked about my goals in the open, how I hit 20th percentile, up 8% from the 12th in 2023. Someone in the chat asked me about how you find out what those levels are and stuff like that. So I actually have the chart here. We can pull it up. Let me this one. There we go. So it's tiny. I'll blow it up here.
Yeah.
Find my mouse. There we go. All right. So there are 5 divisions: pro, advanced, intermediate, novice, and rookie. As I mentioned yesterday, I think I'm level 2, but actually I didn't realize this. There's a 55 plus level. So 1 through 5 is 11 to 21st percentile. So maybe I'm a level 5 now. I don't know. But in the regular division, it is 11 to 21% is level 2. And then like 22 to 32 is level 3. 33 to 43 is level 4. 44 to 54 is level 5. 55 to 65 is level 6. 66 to 76 is 7. 77 to 87 is 8. 88 to 98 is 9. And you have to be in the 99th or higher percentile to be level 10. And you can find your percentile by logging into the app. It's like on the first page you see, they give you a percentile of where you finished. Then you just come over to here, you plug in the percentile you finished, and it'll tell you what level you are.
Look that up now while we're talking about it, because
it would be a lot easier if in the app they told you if what your level is in addition to.
So I don't know if it's still doing it the same way it used to, but I know, like on my profile from last year or the current one or whatever, it said what number I was next to my name. Like if you go look at your athlete profile on the app. Now I said I don't know if they're still quantifying it like they did before, but it was on there before.
Yeah, I've been looking. It's just percentile at this point. If you, so you can see like there. I don't know if you can
yeah. Well, I'm saying is if you go look at your stuff, it's not that, but like go click on where you can view your profile. It had a number by it.
Okay.
Like where it says view athlete profile. So right now mine doesn't have anything.
Yeah, my
like last year that had a number next to it.
Okay. Yeah, nothing on my athlete profile at all. But yeah, there's my worldwide 20th percentile. If
moving right along, baby, 1% better every day.
D Reed says he's 2 levels below rookie. I find that hard to believe.
Doug's fit, man. Don't let him lie to you. I know his name's David, by the way. We just like to call him Doug Reed because Sevy's been calling him Doug Reed for the past 6 months.
So yeah, so those are the levels. I didn't realize that 55 plus and 14 and 15 had their own set of criteria. And so 11 to 21 is 1 through 5. And then you get 10 at 66% if 55 plus. That don't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know why the percentile of one would be different than the percentile of the other.
Yeah, that's kind of you're considered a 10, but you're only in as 70th percentile. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Is that supposed to be like an overall thing? I guess that's how they're going to do it for
the Community Cup.
The Community Cup. So
yeah, this is actually called the Community Cup tiers.
Yeah. So I guess they're doing that for seeding because you go against your level, not necessarily your age group.
Yeah, and then the 14, 15-year-olds, you only have to be in, well, it's 8 to 10. So somewhere in that range of 44 to 65, you start level 10.
I think that's fair because some 14, 15-year-olds are like already hit puberty, started growing and whatnot. Some are not, like still, developing and whatnot. So it's kind of a wide range.
You're matched up against the same age group, the two ages. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't just use the same percentage, but maybe the numbers are so small that the upper tiers wouldn't be enough to form a full amount of people.
That's solid.
That's probably what it is. 55 plus and 14 and 15, the groups would be too small. So you have to.
Like your age group. So my one of my best friends, Bernard, like he's 55 plus too. And we were talking about it the other day, like there's 13,000 people in 45, 49 men, like just my age group. And then 55 to 59, like it dropped down tremendously. Like the number was way, way lower in 55, 59. As far as like people are actually registered for the Open. It was mind boggling how, because it's not that much older than me, relatively speaking. I mean, I'll be 48 in a month. And I'm not that far from 55, 59. And just the numbers the amount of numbers that dropped off, I thought was absolutely bananas.
I think Sarah hit it on the head. I think when you get to 55 plus and 14 and 15, they're different groups. There's less signups.
Yeah.
Like we always talk about the Masters being the most populated signups of the Open, but that's really the 35 to 49-year-old divisions.
Yeah.
Like it's those three divisions that are 50% of Open signups. I'm sure other divisions sign up as well, but just not at the clip that those three do.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the Open division is the biggest one. And then that 35, like you said, from 35 to 49, there's a lot of people. I mean, good Lord. Yeah. Yes, Doug, you are correct.
Yeah, I was a listen, what happens at 55, I was a big benefit from. I was not, I haven't RX'd an open workout in so damn long.
Right.
And I could have RX'd all 3 this year. I did RX 2. And again, I've said the second one I chose to compete against my old score rather than go RX. Because I wanted to see where I was at. So
could have did that one twice, Scott. Just saying. Could have did one against your old score, gave yourself 2 days, and then did it again.
I am 55. I'm 55, and that means body can do 1 a weekend. I'm a one and doneer for the rest of my life. You young kids in your 40s, you can go twice, 3 times if you want on the weekend. I'm a one and doneer.
You young kids and that dog. I feel like you're talking about Scooby-Doo at this point.
Yeah. You pesky kids.
Meddling kids and that dog.
My wife, my friends, everybody knows I have become the get off my lawn dude.
Like, I can't wait. I'm already, look, I'm halfway there. My neighbors, I'll get home. So our houses face each other in our neighborhood, which is not necessarily a thing. So like when I pull into my garage, I can see their garage, which is not supposed to be a thing in the neighborhood. And I'll get home and one of their kids will be like the back tire of his car that we parked in the street, but the back tire will be on my grass and I lose my ever loving mind. I'm like, I'm like actually physically angry. I want to take the tow strap out the back of my Jeep and hook it to Bryce's car and pull it out of the way. So yeah, I feel you. Like get off my lawn.
I'll take your 40-year-old grumpy old man and I will raise you that if I'm driving down my street and a car is this far off the curb, giving me little space to get by, I lose I want to get out, write a note put it on the windshield, learn how to park your car.
So FYI, don't ask me how I know this, but you can order pre-printed sticky notes from Amazon and you can write whatever you want on them. Again, don't ask me how I know that because my wife may or may not be waiting for me to pull the trigger on them to go get them because we got the exact same problem in my neighborhood. Like I go to turn the street before I turn onto my house and people are just parked in the street and there's nobody in their driveway. That's the part that really, like, there's nobody in the driveway. Why are you parked in the street? Like, I can't wrap my head around it. And it drives me absolutely bananas because I don't do that. I would never do that.
Yeah. Before we did the lunch on the round table, I talked about how I had a woodpecker last summer and fall.
I remember
that. I would run out the door and I would yell at the woodpecker to get gone. Like throughout the day, I would hear him.
Old man yells at bird.
I have a post out on my front porch and he would peck right through that post, right?
Yeah.
All fall, I'm yelling at this thing. And I literally had my BB gun loaded, ready to take him out. And then like winter came and it kind of went away. But what I didn't realize is he got the whole way through. So now I have squirrels living in my post, taking their nuts and seeds into the hole and down in. And so I go out, like take my dog out and I hear the rustling inside my post out on my front porch. So now how do I get the squirrels out before I plug that hole?
Yeah, you don't want
the hole. I'm going to have dead carcasses in my pole smelling up the joint.
Well, I feel like if you get ready to plug it, they're going to get scared and they're going to get out the hole. They're not just going to hide up in there. They're going to get out and run.
Yeah, knowing my luck, they will jump out as I'm plugging it right into, like Clark Griswold me right to the face.
I mean, possibly. Oh, you'll yell squirrel and wreck the car. You ought to be all right.
the plight of the suburban grumpy old man.
100%, dude. 100%. 100%. Old man yells at cloud.
The other stupid thing that gets to me, man, is because I have a dog, and the dog, like, anytime somebody comes to my front yard, he loses his mind.
Of course.
I have all these like elementary school age kids that live around me. For some reason, when they get off the bus at the end of the street, it's probably 100 yards away. They mosey down the street and they seem to gather and convene some kind of meeting right in front of my house every day after school. And my dog loses his mind. And I'm like, that's where I want to run out the door and say, you kids get off my,
actually get off my lawn.
Yes. Truly
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And they're not doing anything. That's the best part about it. They just
when you have kids, you're more tolerant of all that, right?
100%,
when your kids leave, you've lost all tolerance for that stuff. It is crazy.
Looking outside, what are those kids doing? Never mind the fact that you guys and yours used to be doing the same thing and they're now grown and you're just not there. It's the only thing that's changed.
Well, I think the other thing is that this is my office now, right? I work from home. So I finish my day at 5 Eastern. The kids come home from school at 3. So I'm in the middle of my work day and then I get disrupted with this dog and everything. So I think that adds to the aggravation of it all. But I'd probably still be that grumpy guy anyway. But
I can't wait, dude. I wish I had a good front porch to sit on so that when I did get old and was retired at home, I could just yell at people that happen by. Get out of here.
Reed echoes what my wife says every time we drive in our neighborhood. Why can't you park in your driveway?
It's what it's there for.
Right. Yeah. Going out of our neighborhood, like the last little bend before you go out, that people park on that bend. It is a complete blind curve.
Yeah.
And you're just praying nothing's coming the other way at any rate of speed.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Better yet, park in your bloody garage. Amen. James checking in from the West Coast. Up early.
West side,
probably not early now, but
yeah. I mean, early enough. It's still 9:34 over there.
Yeah. So one thing I did want to do today that I kind of omitted yesterday is because we were talking about Carolyn and Jamie and winning their open divisions and how incredibly fit they are and how privileged we are that we get that perspective from those two ladies every Sunday night. I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world to be able to have those two as my co-hosts, giving that perspective as elite athletes. But we also had some audience members and who have become friends tremendously. 2 of them, especially, that won the Open as well. And one of them was Chris Anderson in your division.
Yep.
He's become a great friend of the show. I got to know him through the burgers.
Yep. He's fit, dude. That dude's fit.
And Rudy took second in the Open. So
to J.R. Howell, of all people, I did not see that coming.
Well, Chris Anderson took first.
Yeah, but in Rudy's division.
Oh, in that 25-3.
Rudy took second to J.R. Howell.
Oh,
that's who that James. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Like that. I mean, I know JR's fit, obviously, but I also I have worked out next to Rudy. Like I know how fit that dude is, and that is wild to me that I didn't realize JR was that fit. Yeah,
I've done 2 documentaries on Rudy, and they're both still living out there on YouTube. That guy is amazing, and as good of an athlete as he is, he's that much better a person.
100%. 100%.
Same way I feel about Chris Anderson. Super fit dude, but like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And then the other person from our crew that killed it is Denise Moore. Denise Moore, who's always in the chat. Ended up winning the 65 to 69-year-old division.
Let's go.
So I want to shout out to those two who are clear friends of the show, and so happy for them. It just swells up my pride and my beams in my heart, whatever those sayings are. That they're killing it like that.
The cockles warms the cockles of your heart. I'm not exactly sure where that part is.
I knew the Southern Cajun guy would know the euphemism.
Cockles of the heart, baby. Cockles of the heart.
Shay says, always look forward to the Sunday show. Shay, you're one of the best commenters in our group. Love getting your chats every Monday morning after the show and getting your input. Thankful that you're there. Tristan, dude, JR is fit.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing with the Masters is like to do a deep dive into what all happened. There's so many divisions that you have to get through to kind of see it. And that my two co-hosts are in that group. Those are the names I look for first.
Yeah, 100%.
It's Jamie and Carolyn and then Rudy. Because those are my like close friends. And then it's like Denise. And then it looks through the rest, like all of my other friends that I've met through this process.
Yeah, that's when I'm looking at the leaderboard. That's what I'm looking for is people I've competed against, people I've met on Instagram that I'm friendly with or whatever. And I kind of watch those people because that's people I know, and that's the people I would think or not think I would know are roughly how fit they are and have at least a good grasp on it. I would say either competing against them in person, online through qualifiers, that type of deal. That's the people I'm looking forward to. And then, the people I know, Jamie and Carolyn and good Lord, the vast amount of people. I'm like, oh, hey, there's that guy. Oh, hey, there's that guy or that girl or whoever it might be. What Jamie and Carolyn did is absolutely, it's bonkers. Like, I don't even know a good way to put it. It's bananas freaking crazy. Like, and I would say, like, some of the stuff that Jamie's still doing at her age, not that she's old by any stretch of the imagination, but like that girl is fit, dude. Like, I don't think people understand exactly how fit she actually is, but it's a lot.
When you see that Carolyn got a hat trick,
yeah,
and she's up against the likes of Andrea Nisler and Caroline Klutz and Kristen Holta, and that she pulled off 3 straight wins.
Badass, dude.
Yeah.
Badass.
That probably does not get enough praise around the space. That's an impressive stat. And you got it, Colton 112 is mighty impressive as well.
I thought, so as far as Colton is concerned, like after he won the second one, I was like, okay, he's going to win the Open. But I did not see him doing what he did on the last one. Like, I figured he'd be in the top 10 somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I have a score safe enough for him to win the Open, but not that he was going to do that. Like, that's another one, dude. Like, that dude he's sick with it.
So I have a couple questions about this. I'm totally off what I had planned on talking about today. But that's cool. Okay. So what is on the women's side? First of all, Lucy Campbell, we talked about her comeback after Wodapalooza because of what she did there. And then to back that up with a 3rd place finish in the Open, like, that is one cool story.
Yeah, good on her, man. Good on her.
May not be able to ever lift anything again to her finishes at Wodapalooza and now the Open. Should be one of the top stories that CrossFit is pumping out there going into semis.
If they're not talking about it, if they're not following her around, or putting something together with whatever footage and whatnot, they have interviews, they should be. Like, they're missing a huge opportunity if they're not.
Yeah. What an amazing comeback story. I mean, I know the chills I got like the year I followed Emily after she had the arm surgery at the games, and getting talking to Dr. Rocket and all that stuff of what entailed there. Like,
yeah,
Lucy's injury was maybe not as life-threatening, but it was way more career-threatening.
Right. Yeah. Your back is most of your body.
Well, it's her wrist. And the surgery she had to fix it, they shortened her wrist. They cut it off.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I knew she was hurt. I didn't realize it was to that extent. And I got her conflated with what's her name? That is still trying to get back from the back. Okay. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. So, and if you watch, she did the Frankenstein cleans for a while because her wrist was so bad. But now she's able to do all the stuff. So yeah. But the reason I pulled this up is my question to you is, what is more impressive? And I think you can argue either way. Miriam Von Rohr going 1-1-12 or 1-1-11, or Fee going 3-4-7.
I think you can look at it either way, to be quite honest with you. Scroll back over a little bit. Let me see the times on the end one. So what we got? 11.
Fee was 11 minutes. Miriam was 11:16.
Okay, so you're talking about 16 seconds separating, what is that, 4 places?
4 spots.
Is that right? If it's me, now, granted, nothing taken away from Miriam, because I mean 2 firsts and then 11th, but the consistency that Fee is putting up with a 3rd, a 4th, and a 7th, you know what I mean? And most of these tests were motor tests. Everybody seems to be in agreement as far as that, because we didn't really see anything super heavy. Yes, there was bar muscle ups, but these are elite of the elite of the elite. For me, Fee doing what she did and still staying right there in that same, because, yeah, okay, you got 2 firsts and you got an 11th. If she was in, and she still won by how many points? By 1 point. Whereas Fee got 3rd, 4th, 7th, all within that, 3 top 10s, basically, 1 top 3. For my money, that's probably edges it out a little bit. What Miriam did is, I mean, I won't say it's unheard of, because Colton did the same thing, but until this year, it was definitely unheard of. I just think that's insane.
Yeah.
Carolyn right there.
The other thing I wanted to say is, if you look at the winner of 25.3, it was Olivia Kerstetter at 10:18. She was rowing 50 calories with the guys. I heard Dallin and Hopper and Madeira say, if she actually got to do the 40 calories instead of the 50 that most women get to do in that workout, she would have beat Dallin.
Oh, I have no problem believing that whatsoever.
That's insane.
I would like to know what her I like to, if she's got it on video, I would like to go see that, just to be able to see what she was pulling on the rower. You know what I'm saying?
One thing we know about Olivia is she's never met a barbell she didn't like.
That is correct. She is super strong. It's silly. I would like to see what she was rowing, and if she just got on and just, just stroke the entire way. If she had a plan, kind of roll the first 5 calories and then kind of, get settled in and then start picking up the pace, or just if she just blasted it the entire time. I would really like to be able to go and do a little, not a deep dive, but a dive on that, just to see what it was, because
it's a shame she doesn't have a video up. But maybe
I'm sure she has a video somewhere.
Yeah. Couple other things. We have that tournament challenge, NCAA tournament bracket. The links are in the description of this YouTube, and they'll be in the description of the audio as well. And it's just for fun, just to compete against each other. I don't watch a ton of college basketball anymore, but I thought, what the hell? It'll give me a reason to watch a couple games over the next couple weeks to see where I'm at and see how I compete against my friends. And
I have no dog in that fight either.
And then whoever wins with the highest score between the two, I will put together a prize pack and get out to them for winning that. So nothing to enter, all free, just for fun for us to kind of have some bragging rights and something to talk about over the next few weeks. And yeah, you might win a prize pack.
Sign up, people. Like, subscribe, sign up. How you like that? Three things at once.
Yeah, there you go. The last question I wanted to ask you and get your input is, are we in a new golden age of CrossFit?
Yes. I'm glad you actually asked that, because I was thinking about this the other day. And I think it happens in a lot of sports, right? Something gets real popular for a little while, and then something weird happens. It's not necessarily that somebody passes away, on the field or on the court or whatever it is, but something happens and it takes the shine off of it, right? And people start feeling some sort of way about it. No, it's not like it used to be, and blah, 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 whatever. And it sort of takes a dip, and then it starts building back up, right?
Tristan,
we'll get to that in a second there, Tristan.
Way too early to call a new golden age.
Well, what I would say to that is that, did you know you were in a golden age whenever we had Rich and Dan Bailey and Josh Bridges and all of those guys that were such larger than life personalities? You know what I'm saying? Because you look back at it now, you're like, man, that was great times with these people who were in the space, and who were, I won't say in your face because that doesn't sound right, but they were alive, if that makes sense. And then for a while, like once Matt kind of got out of it, and he was the only one like that was really, I won't say emotional, but you could feel his passion while he was on the floor. Would you say that's fair? You know what I'm saying? Like when he comes across the line, he was yelling, beating on his chest and stuff like that. And Madero's won 2 years in a row and won one event? Is that right? I think that's right. And it got kind of, as far as the games themselves are concerned, it was kind of bland for a little while. And then media was going downhill. There wasn't any kind of, like, the only content coming out was from guys like you and Savan and, Pedro and whatnot. And then that started building things back up. And then right now, I would say right now, here in this moment, the media team for the games is on fire. They are pumping out excellent content. Like the little promo videos, the open announcements themselves were top notch as far as I'm concerned. They chose the right people. They had them in the right places. Everybody that you've heard speak about who was at the announcement said like the atmosphere was electric the entire time. People fired up as far as that's concerned. They're pumping out regular content, not games related as well. Stuff about affiliates and, a couple of personal stories and stuff like that, which again hadn't happened for years, right? So yeah, I would say, I don't know if we're necessarily in it, but I feel like we're pushing back towards that, because now we got like the Dallin and Jason and Justin and, that are all
Colton,
super competitive. Colton's amazing, dude. Super competitive, poking at each other the entire time, talking shit, and or backing it up, right? I mean, they're going head to head, toe to toe, and like there's not anybody that you can see anyway that's better than them in the space right now.
So I'm glad you answered that way, because here's my counterpoint. In the golden age we had before, everybody mentions the Rich and the Dan and the Josh and the Matt Chan and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But everybody forgets to mention Annie and Camille and Sam Briggs and Lindsay Valenzuela and to Elena Fortunato and that golden age of women at the same time.
Yep.
I think the guys are starting to get it in this era by producing their own media content and using other third-party media opportunities to build a storyline for them. So I think the guys are starting to get it and that we're moving into a new golden era of men. But I think that the women are so private and competitive with everything they're doing. We're not seeing their journey through the process like the men are allowing us to see. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Like Dallin and Jason and them are not afraid to post a score and say, hey, this is what I did. Come get it.
Eat it if you can. Yeah, come get me. Come get some.
Right. And they're willing to do it live on air to do that. I think the other thing the men have this time that they didn't in the previous golden era is they have a heel. I think Hopper is becoming the heel. And if you follow wrestling at all, a good heel makes the storyline 10 times better.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is the person that no matter what he says, people dog him, people come after him. And I think that makes that storyline really, 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 really good.
Yeah. You're right. What he can say, it doesn't matter what he says. Like he could go out and be like, the sky is blue. And be like, people are like, did you hear Jason Hopper said the sky was blue?
Well, and he's really good at when he like does a dig, he can do it with a straight face. Where the other guys just laugh at themselves or right. And he will do it with a straight face to like sell it more like a heel would in wrestling. And Jeffrey Birchfield said, is a heel different than a villain? Yes. Think of it as the antagonist in a story. He is that counter to the golden boy Dallin Pepper with the nice hair and the good values and the good and you look at James Sprague, very wholesome young kid growing and Jason, while he has a lot of the same values, his digs can cut deeper and it moves the storyline along.
I would almost say he plays their game, that part, better than the others, right? He's better at doing that kind of stuff. Like he is probably the best one at talking shit because he will do it, like you said, with a straight face. And it sounds like he believes it.
So take the instance during Kill Taylor. Colton, you do this, I'm telling everybody what your score was.
Yeah.
Like that cuts deeper than just like, hey, you're short and you can't row. Like, right. You know what I mean? Like he's getting personal. Like, I'm going to reveal something you don't want me to reveal if you go ahead with this. Like he wanted that cash too. Like the heel wanted the cash. Well, I'm going to give it to the kids. I'm going to donate the money. And Jason's like, you need to not do this so I get my cash.
The one that he won where he still had 15 seconds left, 20 seconds left, whatever that one was, and he just got off the bike because he was like, nobody's beating that.
Yeah.
Like it's some people probably think it comes off as arrogant, but
he does the more eccentric celebrations when he wins an event. He has the showman aspect, the cocky, arrogant, pound the chest. I guess Josh Bridges might have been the heel back in the day. But you can be a likable heel.
Yeah, everybody loves Josh Bridges.
Right. It doesn't mean that people hate you or that you're bad. You're just the antagonist that moves the story forward. Josh Bridges was this little guy that had no business beating Rich Froning in anything, yet he could.
Yeah.
And when he did, he let you know he did.
Well, he cut when was that? When he won Murph. I mean, he called his shot before he went out, before he got out on the field. Like, I'm winning this. Like, y'all can do whatever y'all want. I'm winning this. And he was ahead by a lot. Like, when he took off from his last set of air squats, and he was out the stadium, I think, before with the second place when he even got off the field. Came back in, and watching a Josh Bridges celebration is almost like it's a religious experience at this point, right? I mean, you could feel it through him, and I think, same type thing is going on with old Jason there.
I agree with Tristan, who is arguing with Kenneth at this point. Rich was never the heel. He was so beloved by everybody. You couldn't even make him the heel if you wanted to.
No. And then he would just come out on Sunday and just win everything, just because he was like, oh, it's time for me to win everything. And people still were like, oh, look at him. He's just out there winning.
Yeah. Like Jason's the heel in a way where the other two are talking about how Rich is the GOAT. And he's like, the hell he is. Matt's the GOAT. Like he's going to be the counter to whatever the others say.
No matter if it's right or wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
But Stone Cold he was the antagonist a lot. So
I remember watching Stone Cold
does not mean
drive into the stadium in his truck, get out with a 6-pack of tall boys, stand on the roof of the truck because somebody was in the ring talking about him. And he just sat there drinking a beer looking at him.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of behavior we're talking about. Like, that's the kind of, if Jason Hopper drank, he would probably do some shit like that. Like, oh, all right, we just talking shit. Okay, cool.
Train to Live says Matt was more of a heel than Rich. Matt was an awesome heel. In his early career, go back and watch the behind the scenes of 14 and 15 when Matt took second. He was every bit the heel. He wanted all that smoke.
When they asked him in one of the behind the scenes, when they asked him if it was worth it, and he turned around and said, "Did I win?" Oh, okay, so I guess not.
Hopper's heel era started after he won the handstand walk at Syndicate, then did the cigarette celebration. Yes, that's exactly what was in my head when I was thinking Hopper the heel. Those types of celebrations are just different.
100%. I'm here for it too, dude.
Yeah,
we've been saying it for years. We need somebody like that.
Yeah, Charlie and I have argued that on the roundtable since this podcast has been around, that the sport needed a heel.
Absolutely.
And we thought Ricky was it, and then he popped. Then, we thought there were candidates, and none of them have held up. Hopper's got the fitness behind him to be good enough to be the heel.
I don't know if talking about Ricky, I don't know if he never would have popped if he'd have got to that status. Does that make sense? Like, I think the only reason people started thinking that was because he popped and because he was still doing like the open workouts and screaming at the camera, beat that and whatnot.
When he came back, I was at that game. He popped. He was cocky. He was brash. He was letting everybody know it that games.
Okay, I did not know that.
He was becoming the heel during that games.
That is different.
I had a front row seat to that. I hated him by Sunday, and that was before he ever popped and did and then the other stuff.
Yeah, because nobody knew for.
Now I would say the comeback, he had to fix that image to be accepted back into the community, and he's done an amazing job of that. But the young Ricky in 2017, every bit the heel.
Yeah, no, because everybody loves that dude now.
Yeah,
everybody. I was one of those ones when his band first came up as being, or was first he was going to be able to compete again. I was one of the people like, oh, okay, whatever, Mr. Steroid Boy, whatever. But kudos to him, like he he turned it around completely because now everybody's like, "Yay, Ricky Mack, love that guy." And that was not a thing beforehand.
I think Kenneth makes a good point. Roman would have been the ultimate heel. I think he could have been. The problem is he got delayed so long in actually getting to compete over here that by the time he did, he was at that age where injury started to take over and other things. Like, he would have been good because he would have had the fitness to back it up. And what's happened now is I think, and I kind of hope I'm wrong. I think that he has been hurt so much that his fitness has decreased. He just can't train like he could back before he got admitted into the U.S.
I am curious to see what he's going to do for semifinals at this point. Like, just judging off of what I've seen from him from the Open, to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you're correct. I'm curious to see how much he's either fallen off or if we're just not peaking right now. You know,
if you remember, he was competitive last year's semifinals. It was him, Hopper, and Pepper, and Adler in the East. And that was a very competitive matchup with those four. It's the games he broke down.
Yeah.
Which was a weird games anyway, and it's hard to put much on it, but yeah.
That's why and not to take anything away from Sprague being the champ, but like every time somebody says something about how somebody performed last year, okay, yeah, but it was also a very weird games to begin, like probably the strangest one that's ever taken place. So as far as that goes.
Well, I'm already late back from my lunch hour. So the rest of you hooligans, get back to work. We're done here. We will see you tomorrow on Clydesdale Lunch with the Clydesdale. Something like that.
Something like that.
Next, scratch it, flip it, do that thing. Lunch with the Clydesdale tomorrow.